Okay, I've got a very opinionated video to show you what it really takes to achieve financial success in your health business. Because I see a lot of health experts talking about how their $50 ebook or a $100 online course is going to help them achieve any degree of freedom. I'm going to show you why that is the biggest load of nonsense I've ever heard. I'm going to show you the math breakdown, and I'm going to show you how to do things properly instead. So let's do this. Hey guys, what's going on? Yuri, Elkaim here, CEO and founder of Healthpreneur. We help health professionals get clients and scale their businesses online by working smarter, not harder. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by working smarter instead of, quite honestly, not so smart. All right, so I'm just going to move my little guy over here somewhere. Okay. I see this happen quite a bit. Is someone says, we'll ask them like, cool, what's your goal for the upcoming year? Well, my goal is to achieve this. And we're like, cool, what's the game plan? And they're like, well, I've got, a $37 ebook that I just finished writing. And I'm like, okay, here we go. So then I have a quick look at their social profile and they've got like 500 followers on Instagram and that's about it. So when I see that kind of stuff, it really bothers me. It hurts my heart because I know this person has put in their heart and soul into building something that no one's ever going to buy. And even if a few people did buy it, it's not even going to move the needle to pay for the rent or mortgage in their real life. So I want to show you what it takes, okay, to earn, and let's just keep it really, really simple. Let's say that we're going to earn the goal equals $250,000 per year. All right. So very achievable goal. That's what, 10,000 a month? No, sorry, 20,000 a month ish. So let's look at what happens if we have a $50 ebook. That's supposed to be a book or a thing. Okay. Call it a course, a book, whatever you want. So I'm going to just do some math on my phone. I'm going to pop in some numbers onto the screen here, and hopefully this will make a lot of sense as we go through this together. So in order to make 200, again, I'm going to keep the math relatively simple. So for the sake of this example, I'm not going to assume any other sources of income other than this $50 thing, okay? Book, course, whatever. So $250,000 per year divided by $50 equals 5,000, and I'll just call them books sold. Now that's assuming you keep all $50 as profits, which is again a majorly false assumption. But let's just play that for a second. All right, so we need to sell 5,000 books in the year. Let me just break this down by 12. And so that's going to be 416 sales per month. Okay, so we got 416 books we need to sell on a monthly basis. Now let's assume that you're not the world's best copywriter because, let's be honest, you're probably not. And that's no offense. It just takes a long time to build that skill set. And if you're busy working with clients and you just have a book up on your website, we have to think about, well, how are we going to sell 416 copies per month? Not just once, like per month. So where's the traffic coming from? Now let's assume that the conversion rate is 1%. So 1% of people who see a page, right? So let's just say we have a page with a headline and a breakdown of the book, and then they can add to cart down here, right? So they can buy now. The number of people that need to see this page, it needs to be pretty substantial in order for the people to buy. I'm telling you, it's very hard to get someone to spend $50. And I'm not talking about a lot of money here. For someone who doesn't know you or knows you reasonably okay, like they know of you, for them to drop 50 bucks, that book needs to be massively compelling. It needs to be built on a very specific topic that has a big promise. Anyways, so let's assume that 1% conversion rates, CVR's conversion rate. So if we need So if we know that 1% of people landing on this page are going to convert to pay $50, how many people need to be on the page? Well, let's do some math here. 416 divided by 0.01, which is 1%, equals 41,600 page visits. And if you want to be sure that the math makes sense, you just multiply that by 0.01, which is 1%, equals 416 buyers. So let me ask you this. Where are you getting 41,600 visitors to your webpage? Let's just stop here for a second and answer that question, because this is where the rubber meets the road. First and foremost, if you don't know how much website traffic your website gets, it's probably not a lot. You can look at Google Analytics. You can use a platform like similarweb.com, and you can type in your URL, and what you're most likely going to see is NA, which means not available, that there's not enough traffic for it to even report. So where are you getting 41,600 page visits to this page? Let's look at a couple options. Let's say you have 500 people on Instagram that follow you. That's not 41,000 people visiting your page. That's 500 followers who, again, mostly are not going to see anything you post because of the algorithm. So how are we going to traffic there? If you have a blog that you write on once a week, again, as I just mentioned, the likelihood of people seeing your website is close to zero. Even if you let them know, hey, new posts on the website, no one's seeing your stuff on Instagram or on Facebook because of the algorithms. And basically what that means is 2% of your followers, roughly 2% of your followers, see anything you post organically. These are pay-to-play platforms in this day and age. The free organic stuff is not happening anymore, okay? Maybe on TikTok for the time being before it becomes heavily ad-based as well. So 41,600 page visits. Well, let's say you know every single influencer and health expert in the health industry, and they have agreed to send you all of their traffic. They're going to send out emails every week because apparently they're making a ton of money by selling your $50 book, which, by the way, is most likely not happening. So I'm sharing this with you because, listen, like, I've run this model in the past. This was my business for more than 10 years. And when I say this is what the numbers look like, this is what the numbers look like. And when I look at the time, I was very, very, very blessed really to know all the big names in health, right? The people with hundreds of thousands, even in some cases, millions of emails on their email list would send out an email for one of our offers, one of our books, one of our courses, whatever. And I see how the numbers break down. And I also understand they're not going to send their email list to my stuff if that doesn't convert and make them money. So again, if your thing isn't proven to work, and trust me, if you have nothing on the back end of a $50 book, your offer is not making a lot of money for many people. So which means they're not going to be sending you a lot of traffic. And remember, 41,600 page visits. Let's just use email as an example for a second. How many people need to click on an email to end up being 41,600 visits? Well, let's divide this by 10%. Let's just assume a 10% click-through rate on an email. But remember, in order for that 10% click-through rate on an email, we have to assume that first and foremost, people have to open the emails. So let's do this. And email open rates are obviously, through the shitter now because of the iOS 15 update. So we don't really know exactly who's opening emails anymore. But let's just assume, let me be very conservative here. And let's assume, again, we're focusing specifically on email traffic for the moment. Let's assume that 30% of people open an email and 10% of those people click. Got it? So we need, hopefully you can stay with me on the math here, 41,600 people page visits. We need, divide that by 41,600 divided by 0.3. We need 100 and, let me just keep it simple here because I'm not even going to be able to follow the math in a moment. Let's do this. let's not even worry about the clicks. Let's just assume for a moment that by some miraculous divine intervention, that we only needed 30% of people to open the emails, and those 30% of people would click over anyways. We would need an email list of a minimum of 139,000 people. And with that 130, not the email list. This is the number of people that are opening the email. So 30% of like whatever that is, so divided by, let's do 139,000 divided by 0.7. So, that's not right. Multiply that by about 3. So let's do this. So the email list would have to be 417,000 people in order for 30% of those people, which is 139,000 people, to even open the email. And then from there, clicking at, listen, I'm losing track of the math to be honest here, but hopefully you're getting the point here is that you need a tremendous number of people on an email list to end up with ultimately that level of traffic to a web page. I don't know about you. Do you have an email list of 417,000 people? It takes a long time, right? And even if you had other people, joint venture partners, sending you that traffic, you need a lot of them. And trust me, it's a tremendous amount of work. I'm not saying it's impossible, but for most of us, 99.9% of health professionals who are not running an information type of business selling ebooks, it doesn't make sense to do any of this stuff. Let's just look at one final example, okay? So let's say that email is off the table. We know that we're not going to get most of our traffic from social unless we have a following of 1 million people. If you do, great. But let's just assume another traffic source. Let's just look at Facebook ads as a possibility here, because that's pretty much the only other option you have. You can run Google ads, YouTube ads, but let's just look at Facebook, for instance. So we need 41,600 people to visit a page. All right. Let's assume that you're paying $1 per click, which is a very reasonable metric to look at. You need 41,600 people to visit the page. Therefore, if we're paying $1 cost per click, that equals an ad spend of $41,600. Okay, got that? Really simple. Let's just go back and do some math here. So 416 sales. So we have to make 416 sales times $50 a piece equals $20,800 in revenue. Hold on, this is starting to not make any sense. We have to spend 41,600 to make literally half that amount, 20,800. Well, why would I ever do that? Like, I would never do that. And so all of a sudden now you have to think about, well, I can't just sell the $50 book. I have to sell a huge back end. I need some upsells, $97 upsell, $197 upsell, et cetera, to make the the lifetime value or even the front end cart value of that purchase feasible. In this case, it's not. And trust me, again, I'm speaking from very, very entrenched experience running this type of business. I'm talking, we had more than 100 different products like this. Very convoluted funnels, upsell flows, all sorts of stuff. And I have friends in the space who are selling, they did 7-8 figure businesses running off an ebook. But I'm telling you, these guys are friggin' NASA scientists, making the numbers work every single day. And in many of those cases, their businesses break even and are slightly negative for up to 6 months in many cases before they start making a profit. So I don't know about you, because you're probably watching this and you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm not this I don't feel like I'm the guy who's going to write an ebook and make millions off it. That's not the way I foresee my business going. I have an ebook and I want to make some money, but really I just want to help more people and build a great business. So I share this with you because this model doesn't make sense. It makes sense for some people, but it's very challenging to make this work. So let's look at another example. Let's look at the example of, let's say that you're charging $2,500 for a coaching program. And here's the cool thing. Oops. The coaching program could be the same thing as the book. It's just more walked through with the clients. Like it's a hand-holding process as opposed to good luck on your own. So let's look at the math here. So for $2,500 a year, $250,000 for the year, we do the math, we divide that by $2,500, we need 100 clients. Okay, seems more reasonable, right? If we break that down by month, we need 8 clients per month. Seems more tangible, seems more realistic, doesn't it? Exactly. All right, so how do we get 8 clients per month? Well, it depends on your business model, but let's just assume that you're running a perfect client pipeline, which is what we teach our clients. 4-step process: Facebook ad to webinar, webinar to application, application phone call. We do this every single day, all day long, thousands and thousands of times with, it's generated more than $217 million for our clients, so we know this works. So how do we get 8 clients per month? Well, there's a couple of things we have to know. First and foremost, we have to know how many phone calls do you need to enroll 1 client. So let's just assume that you're okay. Like, I'm not even talking about conducted, I'm just talking about calls booked. Let's say that you need 5 calls booked equals 1 client, right? So to get 1 client, you need to book 5 calls. So if you have to enroll 8 clients a month, then we do 8 times 5, 40 calls required. Okay? Now, on average, how much are you paying for a phone call? Again, it depends on your market, depends on how good your messaging is, but let's just say the average of what our clients see is about just under 150, but we'll call it 150 to be conservative. 150 times 40 equals $6,000 a month in ad spend. Looks a little bit different than this, right? Looks a little bit different than that. So $6,000 in ad spend per month, and that is going to generate 8 clients times 2,500 per client. So we do the math, 2,500 times 8 equals 20,000 minus 6,000 ad spends. Our profit is $14,000. In this case, we are negative 20,000. Okay? So I share this with you because, guys, like, you have to understand the math. You have to understand the math of what it takes to achieve the objectives you're setting for yourself in your business. And I think one of the unfair advantages that I have is like I've run every business model you can think of, from product launches to the whole ascension ladder of lead magnet, tripwire offer, $47, $97, $197, join the membership site. We've done free plus shipping book offers. I've sold supplements. I've sold high-end coaching. I've done everything that you've seen online, and a lot of the stuff you may or may not have even tried. So I'm not talking about this theoretically. I'm giving you real examples from being in the trenches online in the health space since 2005, 2006. And what that allows me to provide for you is perspective and mistakes that I've seen and I've made myself. And I'm telling you, any business model can work. It's just a matter of, do you understand what goes into that? Do you understand the pros and cons of both? And which one makes the most sense for you? So we typically work with people, health experts, who are like, you know what, it makes a lot more sense for me to work with someone at $2,500 to transform their life and charge a premium for that, $2,500, and require far fewer people to work with to achieve your financial objectives, as opposed to, I've got an ebook and I'm going to make, some money. No one's making money on ebooks, right? A select few are, trust me, like they're making a killing. But what is required to make that work? Like, I spent many, many years making that work, and it is grueling and it's not enjoyable. When I came online in 2006, I'm like, I'm just going to write an ebook and kick my feet up and live the laptop lifestyle, make some passive income. And by no means did that happen. 3 years poverty line income is what I was making, until eventually I started to learn about marketing, and eventually we made that type of model work. But it was so complex, it was so unfulfilling, And it was just all about the numbers. It wasn't about, I didn't know any of the people who were buying my stuff. I was so disconnected. With Healthpreneur, we don't run that type of model. We run the model that I showed you with perfect client pipeline, higher end stuff. And I know all my clients. I spend time with them every single day in a way that works for me and serves them at a high level. It's very profitable. It's very fulfilling. And this is what we teach our clients. So if you'd like to learn how to do this, you're in the right place. So anyways, I would love to know from you, what has been the aha from what I've broken down for you here? Whether or not you're selling a $50 ebook is irrelevant, but you probably have something, whether it's one-on-one coaching, trading time for money, maybe you're selling a $100 course, maybe you're selling an ebook, I don't know. But what is the aha you've gotten from what I've broken down for you? I'd love to know in the comments below. And then second, if you're watching this on the YouTubes, remember to subscribe, because if you found this helpful and you want to learn how to, build out a perfect client pipeline, you want to understand how to do this stuff, all my stuff is on YouTube, right? Now, obviously, if you want my help and like daily hands-on coaching along with my team, we can talk about that, at another point. But everything I'm not holding anything back here because I want you to do well. I don't want you to suffer financially. You've got amazing gifts and magic that can help a lot of people. I just see so many health professionals doing dumb things and struggling unnecessarily. So please don't be one of them. I don't want you to be one of them. Subscribe to the channel, watch my other videos. Again, if you'd like my help, just reach out. We can talk about what that might look like. But listen, I'm here to support you in whatever way I can. So thank you so much for your time. I hope this has made sense. Let me know in the comments what has been like your big aha. And then I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks so much. I'll see you soon.